Rhodes power supply.
Alright, we have a 5-pin Rhodes power supply and amplifier assembly. We're going to be changing the power switch, which often has its lights start to flicker and then go out. The switch we provide is similar. You'll notice 2 missing pins here, and this side is up as far as the top of the cabinet goes, and these 2 here are the input, and these 2 here go to the transformer. First thing we're going to do is we're going to unsolder the old switch. And if it doesn't unsolder, don't be too upset. What you may have to do is cut the leads. Now this old switch of ours is making popping and hissing noises, so we can tell you that it's arcing. I think we're going to wind up cutting it. That's the hot lead right here. This is the neutral lead right here. They're going to go to the 2 pins at the very bottom of this switch. And at this point in time, there is a 047 capacitor that is used for noise and RF. We're going to try to unhook that one rather than just cut it because the leads are short. Now, what you want to do in a case like this, if you're very experienced or not experienced, is to take note of the colors of the wires from the transformer. And you also want to check things out as far as the stripes on the wires, because they're important. And what you should do is make yourself a little diagram where you have some of the wires or made a notation. For example, this one's a green with a black stripe, so it'll be marked green/black. This one is black. This one is yellow. This one is yellow/black, and this one is red/black. You want to disconnect these from the switch, but you want to mark where they went. And you'll find that all these wires actually go to the transformer, and that's the important thing. But you don't want to crisscross them or reverse them or anything like that. Some of these transformers were intended for use on 220 or 110, and this unit here is for domestic use, so it's 110, and they've wired the transformer appropriately. If there's any question as to whether the switch is making contact or not, it's not a hard thing to do. Simply flip the switch into the on position and use your ohm meter to determine which side makes the contact normally. Now, if your switch is bad, this may not be possible on both sides, but it is rare for both sides to go. Okay, for this one, 3/10 of an ohm, and here 2/10 of an ohm, and 5/10 of an ohm. So basically, on our new switch, these 3 here will be bridged together, and these 2 here will be bridged together. And then these are the input leads, and they will go to the last pins in the corner. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a notation of this, and then we're simply going to cut the leads. I'm not going to desolder these because they're a little hard to do. And this procedure with the switch isn't done frequently unless the switch has been damaged in transit. So we've got these 3 leads here on this side and these 2 leads on that side, and these are your 2 input leads. And the capacitor goes across the transformer. In any case, the way to remove the switch, you'll see that there's a plastic piece which is expanding, and they have to be pushed in, and then you have to go to the other side and push those in also. you'll see the switch will slowly slink into the cabinet. This may take more than one effort or try, and it may require you to rock the switch back and forth, but eventually the switch will come out. Now this switch is slightly different from the one we provide. It's actually, ours is brighter, and you will find that when you try to put ours in, it's not an exact fit, but it's close. Like that. Okay, in fact, it's so close that there's going to be a slight space sitting here, and you may have to slide this back or forth. And that is because the original hole was slightly larger than the switch we're providing, but it won't have any effect on the operation of the Rhodes. Now we're going to reconnect these wires and the capacitor, and we're going to double check the input to this to make sure there's no short circuit or other problem. We'll start first with the capacitor. We'll simply take the leads that were hooked before and hook them again. And then what we're going to do is, after giving them a slight squeeze, you see the capacitor won't go anywhere, it'll stay where it is. You can add a little solder to tack it in place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take each one of these wires, strip them approximately 3/16 of an inch, and then feed them into the appropriate area and solder them.